Hello and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I am Lydia Odijoche. We thank you for joining us. It was a remarkable feeling of nostalgia as President Muhammadu Buhari had an emotional reunion with his old schoolmates at his Daura country home. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo was there.
Fond memories were brought back during the exciting moment, which also provided the opportunity to thank Allah for sparing their lives to meet once again as President Muhammadu Buhari continues to further the cause of national rebirth, salvation and prosperity. Members of the group under the auspices of the Association of 1953 Middle School Intake were 96 at formation, but only 25 are now surviving as 71 of them passed away. President Buhari and his guests prayed for the repose of those that died between last year when they last met and now. The Nigerian leader inquired about each individual's health and well-being as well as their family members. He expressed his joy and happiness for the meeting, saying he got the same feeling that he used to have when they were young. They chatted for a while, talked about the school days and shared a lot of memories. The president thanked the schoolmates for their respect and feelings for him, which they have retained all these years. Senator Abba Ali led members of the association to the interactive engagement with the president.
I can say that in the history of Nigerian politics, there wasn't a government which have shown interest in the development of ordinary people like his own government. I'm proud to say so. I wish him all the best. His tenure is coming to an end, and we wish him a longer life to enjoy the fruits of what he has sown. What we are hoping is that the next coming government will build up on the foundation he laid down. Right from childhood, he is somebody who is reserved, who is honest and sincere.
Senator Abba Ali commended the sacrifices the president had been making and urged him to maintain focus on the nation, which he said is more important than anything else. From Daura, Katsina State, Adamu Sambo, NTA News.
And from Ibadan, workers in Oyo State joined their counterparts nationwide to resume work on Wednesday after Salah holiday. Grace Ayanleke monitored the resumption across Ibadan metropolis.
It is once again bustling in the city of Ibadan after a 2-day break to celebrate the 2022 Eid-el-Kabir Festival. Residents underpaid labor as well as students resume work and studies.
A few people who are very loyal, they're here. But there are some people, a lot of my friends, they call me, oh, okay, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be on duty today.
School have resumed. We are ready to do our work as expected of us.
I enjoy my celebrate today. I'm very happy to be in school.
In Ibadan, Grace Ayanleke, NTA News.
Our next set of reports are on the child census fieldwork nationwide. The National Population Commission today begins the fieldwork of the child census scheduled to last till 30th of July 2022 in the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. The child census, also known as the census dress rehearsal, is one of the pre-census activities in which all census operations are tested in a detailed and comprehensive manner to assess the level of preparedness of the Commission to conduct the 2023 population and housing census. The child census shall cover a total of 7,681 enumeration areas, EA, in the 36 states and the FCT, while 45 EAS in 9 local government areas cutting across 3 senatorial districts were selected 6 local government areas have also been selected across the nation's 6 geopolitical zones for full population enumeration. The child census fieldwork includes building numbering and housing listing from 13th to 15th July 2022, validation of EA frame from 16th to 18th July 2022, persons enumeration from 19th to 25th July 2022, and enumeration mop-up from 26th to 30th of July 2022. While assuring the nation of its commitment and readiness towards a success census, the NPC wishes to solicit support and the cooperation of state governments, local government councils, and stakeholders in the sensitization and mobilization of the populace in the selected LGAs for the smooth implementation of the child census exercise. And from Ilorin, for any meaningful development to be achieved, accurate database is pivotal towards achieving national planning to enhance growth and development of any nation. In view of this, Olajide Bello, who went on a fact-finding mission, reports that 90 enumerators and 5 supervisors have been trained and dispatched to commence a child census across 16 local government areas of Kwara State.
The last time Nigeria conducted a national population census was in 2006, and the result of that census put the population of the country at 140.43 million persons, comprising of 71.3 million males and 69.0 million females. Kunle Adebowale attests to the fact that a national population census is long overdue in Nigeria.
More population to feed, more population to house, more population to provide water for, more population to provide education for, and other social amenities.
This took me to the National Population Commission to seek answers to the child census to be conducted in the designated 9 local government areas out of the 16 local government areas in Kwara State.
All our equipment, including human and materials, these are the things we are putting to test. The logistic requirements, the support of the community. Is it what's relying on? These are the things. The terrain.
The accuracy of the exercise to enhance national planning by the federal government for proper implementation of developmental policies is top priority.
They have gone through trainings and presently they need the materials to work with at the field. The first one is the PDA that contain the house that they are going to work with.
It is hoped that the litmus test of the child census will answer the yearnings of the likes of Kunle Adebowale, who is strongly advocating for a national population census, Olajide Bello, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Katsina State Office of the National Population Commission says it has completed all arrangements for successful conduct of child census in Daura to achieve the objectives of the exercise. Federal Commissioner, National Population Commission Katsina, Engineer Bala Almu Banye disclosed this during a town hall meeting with stakeholders in Daura ahead of the commencement of the child census on the 13th of this month. Sani Basiru reports.
The meeting brought together officials of the National Population Commission office in Katsina, traditional title holders, religious leaders and members of the public. Federal Commissioner, National Population Commission Katsina, Engineer Bala Al-Mubanye, disclosed that 984 enumerators are engaged to work in the 492 enumeration areas in Daura local government. He added that 97 supervisors are to supervise the conduct of the exercise.
Supervisors have been very well trained and are ready to conduct the exercise. So I have this confidence that this digital census is on course.
Bala Al-Mubanye assured that the house numbering and listing commenced on the 13th July 2022. Calling on public to give necessary support to the enumerators to ensure a successful trial census. From Daura, Sani Basiru, NTA News.
Joining us live to talk more on the ongoing child census is Dr. Eyitayo Oyetunji, Honorable Federal Commissioner, National Population Commission, and Chairman, Public Affairs Committee, NPC. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Now, the first part of the child census, which is training of field functionaries, ended last week. And field work has commenced, like you just told me a few moments ago. Now, give us more insight on the exercise and how prepared the Commission is technologically for this exercise?
Thank you very much. As you can hear some of the reports, the entire census process for the next census is digital. That means we're deploying latest technology for the census.
Okay.
We did that first at the level of enumeration area demarcation, and now we're continuing with that digital technology at the level of enumeration. Now it's the tradition in National Population Commission that before we go full swing into the field, we test all our apparatus to ensure we're on course.
Okay.
We have done that first with the first pretest, we did the second pretest. Now this trial census is what we call a whole dress rehearsal of what the main census will be like, and every aspect of the process will be tested using that technology all through.
Okay, now with all you've told us now, does this mean that we will have a credible census next year?
Essentially, the reason we're doing all this is to ensure that the outcome of the main census next year will be accurate, credible, and reliable.
Okay.
The use of a digital technology is, among other things, intended to achieve that. For example, we've been told of situations where people gave information on paper, it was written, and somewhere along the line, some people took those papers away and changed what was written. When you're using the digital technology that we're doing, and that cannot happen, because this time around, there's going to be no paper at all.
Okay.
Our enumerators in the field are going to use tablets. These tablets have been preloaded with the maps of the areas they will cover. And in those maps, the building that they will cover are already loaded on the maps. So all they will do is go to those buildings and then enumerate the households and the persons that are there. And as they do that on a daily basis, they upload the work of the day into the cloud. So once that is done, it's not possible for anybody to retrieve and to alter. This is an aspect that is geared at ensuring accuracy. And furthermore, there's not going to be much lapse between the time the census is conducted and the time that analysis will take place. And also, that means there will be no room for intervention or manipulation whatsoever.
Okay. Now, what is the Commission's expectations from Nigerians, especially at these selected places where the trial census is holding?
We have deliberately chosen the theme for this census, a slogan: you count, be counted. And that's because we want to ensure the involvement of all persons in the process. Counting persons is not like counting inanimate objects like trees, like wood and all that. When you are counting persons, you require the involvement of the persons in order to have a successful exercise. And to that extent, we have set out an elaborate advocacy and publicity machinery targeted especially and locally to those areas where the trial census will take place. We are careful to manage the publicity in such a manner that we do not get others who will not be covered prepared and then they don't see anyone. So our publicity has been zeroed in on those communities that have been chosen, which, by the way, I'm sure you know that we are covering selected communities throughout the country. In 31 states, we are covering 9 local governments, 3 in each of these senatorial zones. But in 6 states, we have selected 1 local government each, like in Daura, for example, an entire local government, where complete enumeration of all the persons in that local government will be conducted. This is to enable us to test our entire data production system and to see how it will work out in 2023, so that the lessons we learn will help us to ensure the accuracy of 2023.
But from all you've told us, I know Nigerians are assured and reassured and convinced that we'll have credible census. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Thank you.
We've been talking to the Honorable Federal Commissioner, National Population Commission, and Chairman, Public Affairs Committee, enlightening us on the trial census. Now, from Lokoja, the 3 senatorial districts in Kogi State appear ready to be part of selected local government areas for the trial census across the country. Correspondent Jacob Sani reports that this is coming after an interactive meeting with officials of the National Population Commission ahead of the 23 ahead of the exercise.
Ahead of 2023 trial census, relevant stakeholders in Kogi State have been educated on their roles at ensuring fair exercise. Officials of National Population Commission (NPC) in an interactive meeting with the steering committee for the trial census in 3 zones, including Kogi East, Kogi West, and Kogi Central, made observations and suggestions bordering on security. According to them, some communities in the country are not safe for the commission staff to carry out their duties as expected.
No nation can grow without population census. We don't know how many people can count to carry a load. Maybe overloaded, that's better. If it's underloaded, you are weak.
The last census carried out in the country was spotted during the advocacy meeting.
Nobody is going to cheat anybody. Honesty is built into the forthcoming census. And secondly, sufficient effort has been made by National Population Commission to ensure that everybody get counted.
The trial census is expected to commence as scheduled. Jacob Sani, NTA News.
Away from the census now. The Nigerian Correctional Service affirms that Peter Nwachukwu, husband of the late gospel singer Osinachi Nwachukwu, remains in custody in reaction to news making the rounds that Peter Nwachukwu escaped during last Tuesday's jail attack on the Kuje Custodial Center. Public Relations Officer of the Nigerian Correctional Service, Umar Abubakar, in a statement says the report is fake and the inmate is in safe custody. Abubakar adds that while pursuing the recapture of the fleeing inmates with fervor, the Controller General of Corrections, Haliru Nababa, solicits the support of all Nigerians while reassuring of his unwavering resolve to improve public safety through promoting safe and humane custody of offenders across the country. Eroded value system and lack of accountability remains the bane of anti-corruption war in Nigeria. This view was reiterated by guests on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria program while taking a look at collective actions against corruption in Nigeria. Joseph Osen has details.
The question is, why is almost everyone blaming much of developmental challenges in Nigeria to corruption? Yet corruption persists and continue to fight its way through every structure. For these guests on Good Morning Nigeria, the Nigerian society has for long been witnessing a shift from past acceptable norms and values where excellence and credibility were rewarded to celebration of unaccountable wealth and rise to the top, which has now paved way to what is described as normalization of corruption across board.
As long as we judge the value of human being by the amount of money that person possesses, we will continue in this direction that we have chosen for ourselves.
The parents, because sometimes implicitly or explicitly they support their children into activities that are nefarious. That's a big problem.
Or why anti-graft agencies have struggled to persecute many corrupt cases. The guests believe that loyalty to corrupt benefactors cripples the law enforcers.
Somebody who wants to occupy an office has to spend through their noses to get to the office. Then tell me how they will go and perform.
We must be nationalistic in the way we grant pardon. There are two things under that provision. There is commutation, in which somebody is sentenced, you commute it to a shorter one. That is a prerogative of mercy. Pardon means that offense never occurred. I think it would be responsible to say, of an offense that gained conviction never occurred.
To nip corruption in the board, the guests suggest healthy competition for power, self-discipline, transparency and accountability, as well as timely punishment for defaulters as deterrent to others. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
You're still on to Nationwide. Now let's join Kinde in Lagos for more from that zone. Hello, Kinde.
Hello, Lydia. Glad to have you join us in Lagos. With appreciable decline in cases of COVID-19 infection in the country, Nigerians started enjoying life away from the popular new normal, a term that emanated to suit living with the pandemic. As many enjoy this freedom, caution is the watchword here. The recent data by the Nigerian Center for Disease Control indicating resurgence of the virus. John Adams tells us more.
The coronavirus pandemic came in waves characterized by various mutations globally. This almost brought the world to its knees. Nigeria also had a bitter experience which was felt in all sectors.
My mom and dad had to stay at home, so things that we normally enjoy are no longer there.
We even get paid at all for that 8 months, though we stayed at home.
And we had to take online lectures, and the online lecture was not really effective as the physical lecture, so we had to quit, then wait for like almost a year before we resumed back.
After the fourth wave of the pandemic in the country, Nigerians enjoyed a long period of recording very few cases. Some believed the country was out of the woods, thereby throwing caution to the wind.
To me, if it is at all in this country, it's minimal.
The hand washing and other things, they should try to keep it up.
It seems the virus is taking advantage of some people's nonchalant attitude, as recent data released by the Nigeria Center for Disease Control reveals that Lagos State recorded more than 200 cases in just few days.
Eternal vigilance is the price everybody pays for freedom. So for us to be free of any harm, any evil like that, we must be eternally vigilant, which we are, which our health authorities are doing.
The earlier we understand that COVID is out there and it's not going to go away by wishful thinking, it is better just to prepare ourselves against it and get vaccinated.
Since it is obvious the virus is here to stay, medical experts say observing non-pharmaceutical measures and vaccination will help in reducing cases of new infections. In Lagos, John Adams, NTA News.
Let's now look at the economy. The global economic crisis that resulted in an unprecedented increase in the level of inflation around the globe. It's said to be responsible for the reduction in global growth forecast by the International Monetary Fund from 6.1% to 3.6% for 2022 and 2023. Deputy Governor, Economic Policy, CBN, Kingsley Obiora, said Nigeria's RT200 policy is designed to give incentive to exporters in the non-oil sector as a cushion effect to a sustainable economy. Abalade Salami reports.
The global economy lately has been exposed to various external economic forces that has proven somehow too powerful to be subdued, thereby weighing down performance and projected growth estimates. What the outcome of this global shock immediately brings to the table is inflation. Currently, America and the United Kingdom are operating between 9 and 6% inflation figures, which is the highest seen in about 40 years, while Argentina is riding on 70%, Turkey 58%, Ghana 31%, and Africa's largest market, Nigeria, on 17%. Going by these numbers, economic managers say the country is not doing badly.
And so all of this means that central banks all around the world are increasing interest rates. We've seen interest rates rise now by 60 times in the last 90 days, different central banks. And so here in Nigeria, we have also noticed that a lot of people all around the world are responding to this common global problem by looking inwards.
The global crisis that caused fears amongst investors led to the withdrawal of capital to the tune of $100 billion in portfolio and $20 billion in equity flows, leaving emerging markets including Nigeria. As part of measures put in place to sustain economic recovery, the Central Bank of Nigeria, through the RT200 FX program, sets to generate $200 billion in foreign exchange from non-oil exports in the next 3 to 5 years.
The African Free Trade Zone, it's a free trade agreement, is a great advantage that we could use in this regard. And I think that if we do that, we could actually begin to tend towards that $200 billion within maybe 2 or 3 years.
the sustenance of a viable economy, economic managers say is achievable going by the workable policies initiated by the federal government. In Lagos, Abolade Salami, NTA News.
And that's a contribution from here. Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on all the social media handles displayed on your screen. Let's take some messages. Nationwide continues with Lydia in Abuja shortly. Stay with us.
Welcome back. Nationwide continues in Abuja. The All Progressives Congress national stakeholders want members to promote and prioritize capacity, competence, and character over religion and ethnicity among the party's candidates ahead of 2023 general elections. The group addressed the media in Abuja. Salihu Gwanara was there.
As the dust for who becomes the APC vice presidential candidate settles, this support group is hopeful that the choice of the party's presidential candidate will add value to the party's journey of sustaining progressive policies beyond 2023.
Today, we have two leaders of exceptional qualities who will be in charge of our national lives. While they happen to be of the same faith, their antecedent in similar responsibilities that they have handled clearly indicates that Nigerians have nothing to fear in terms of their religious interest, that no one religion can exterminate another. We just need to truly de-emphasize the recognition of religion, ethnicity, and other primordial sentiments in our national lives by subjecting both candidates to the test of their competence, capacity, character, and commitment.
The group is advocating issue-based pre-election activities in Abuja. Salihu Gwanara, NTA News.
National Infrastructure and Security Protection Group, in collaboration with government agencies, is seeking ways to stem the rising cases of vandalization of critical national assets. Addressing newsmen in Abuja, the advocacy group noted that the threats tend to truncate domestic and foreign investments at a time Nigeria is experiencing different security challenges.
The security of our lives, infrastructures, monuments, and assets is the collective responsibility of every citizen, whether private or public.
Security threats in the South-South, the group appeals for a robust synergy among stakeholders to increase vigilance in the protection of the national assets in their respective areas.
The South-South Stakeholder Forum further aims to intensify advocacy for stakeholders' statutory responsibilities. It shall also engender the re-engineering of appropriate legislations and a roadmap for harnessing expert knowledge and countrywide technical support for deterrence, codified response strategy, and recovery architecture.
The objective is to build network and share responsibilities among agencies and implementation of existing policies. Bayelsa State government has donated additional 28 operational vehicles to the State Police Command. Governor Doye Diri, who made the presentation, urged security operatives to effect the release of former Commissioner for Special Duties Mike Ogiasa, who was kidnapped a month ago. Fred Owefie tells us more.
Speaking during the State Security Council meeting in Yanagua, Governor Doye Diri condemned the kidnap of Mike Ogiasa as he reiterated his administration's zero tolerance to crime and stressed that all those involved in the kidnap will not go unpunished. The governor noted that the Ijos are known for truth and hard work, as he cautioned youth against involvement in crime and urged them to seek a legitimate means of livelihood.
And let nobody be used to terrorize and intimidate your brother, your own sisters. And I'd like to appeal to us as far is that the kind of image we want to carve for this state? Is that the kind of legacy that we want to leave for our children? The government is not speaking about that matter.
At the end of the meeting, Governor Diri handed over additional 28 security vehicles to the State Police Command to complement 50 patrol vans and 40 motorbikes earlier received last December by security agencies in the state. The Bayelsa State Commissioner of Police Benjamin Okulu commended the governor for the gesture, noting that it will boost the logistics of the command to combat crime to the barest. CP Okulu called for collaboration from sister security agencies in the fight against crime across the state. Fred Wefie, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the Inspector General of Police, Usman Al-Khali Baba, has banned the use of police spy vehicle number plates by vehicle owners and the revocation of existing ones. A statement by the Police Public Relations Officer, Olumuyiwa Adejobi, says the ban is to forestall the continuous disregard for traffic rules and regulations and other extant laws guiding road use by individuals hiding under the privileges of police spy number plates. The IGP equally directed police personnel and other security agencies attached to VIPs who use spy number plates to comply with the directive or risk being arrested for violation of the order. Meanwhile, the IGP orders commissioners of police in the 36 states of the Federation and the FCT, as well as their supervisory assistant inspectors general of police, to give full effect to the directives and ensure that all spy number plates currently in use are confiscated. Nasarawa State government is engaging traditional rulers in the implementation of community policing in order to secure communities in the state. Governor Abdullahi Sule, who hosted them in Lafia, says traditional rulers have greater role to play in complementing government efforts in peace building. Aliyu Tijani reports.
Security challenges in parts of the country call for collaboration, and traditional rulers in Nasarawa State are in Government House to strengthen partnership towards achieving sustainable peace in the state. With various approaches adopted towards curbing security threats in the state, including engaging vigilante groups, traditional rulers suggest for more funding to the groups to assist in intelligence gathering, while assuring state government of sustained engagement with their subjects to promote peaceful coexistence in their domains. Traditional rulers in the state add their voice to call for constitutional role for traditional rulers.
So we have to sustain it if we want to be able to sustain the security situation and the control in most of those areas. So we thank you sincerely, for your patience.
With relative peace in the state, Governor Abdullahi Sule urges traditional rulers not to lower their guards in peace advocacy, especially in the build-up to 2023 elections. In Lafia, Aliyu Tijani, NTA News.
It's now time to join Amina in Kaduna for more reports from that zone. Hello, Amina. It's over to you.
Hello, Lydia. Welcome to Kaduna Network Center. Trial census has commenced in 9 local government areas of Kaduna State. The exercise will cover some selected communities as pilot project. Adamu Sunday has more.
Players for the enumeration exercise have been distributed to ACOS staff recruited for the exercise. State-of-the-art facilities provided is to assist in conducting seamless trial census, which will assist the Commission in arriving at accurate data.
We are looking forward for a successful trial census in Kaduna State, and these materials are more effective because it cannot be manipulated easily like that. As you enumerate a particular household, you are exporting it to the cloud immediately. No need to go back again to start any changes. Once you export it, it's already gone. You cannot reverse it again for any amendment.
It's really, really important that people cooperate, because if they cooperate, it will make us prepare. We'll know the kind of problems we might encounter, and it will help us solve those problems before the census itself.
National Population Commission Kaduna State has organized a series of trainings and stakeholders meeting for a each free exercise. Adamu Sunday, NTA News.
Residents of flood-prone areas in Kaduna Metropolis are living in fear over impending flood as predicted by Nigerian Meteorological Agency. The anxiety among residents living along riverbanks is as a result of high frequency of rain experienced in the state. Haruna Mohammed takes a look at the impact of flooding in the metropolis.
River Kaduna flows its bank, which affects areas such as Kabala, Kigo Road, Ungwarimi, and some parts of Barnawa. Residents of these areas are victims of flooding emanating from River Kaduna. Over the years, they have been incurring losses of both human and property of colossal amounts, lack of adherence to town planning, blockage of drainages, among other factors. Having debts like it is here and in some drainages and waterways are some of the reasons why flooding persists in some areas.
I packed into this area since 2012. This place has been a flood disaster. The worst of it was the one that happened in 2015. That actually swallowed so many houses, and a lot of residents suffered so many. They just lost a lot of properties. Even some they had moved their cars.
This drilling, where they show you this drilling, government don't come the starting drilling. Inshallah, the drilling it will help people to go come again, inshallah.
Therefore, to mitigate flooding in these affected areas, residents and authorities concerned must pay more than casual attention to flooding. Haruna Mohammed, NTA News.
And that's it from here. Nationwide continues after the break with Obehi in Benin.
Hello and welcome to NTA Network Center. The acting governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, has urged Christian pilgrims to Israel to intercede for the country and populace for unity and progress of the nation. He was addressing them at the Government House, Benin City, before their departure. Udakobong Achibong reports.
The intending pilgrims are taking the trip to the Holy Land this Tuesday, but before they depart, they were at the Government House to intimate the acting governor of the state that they are good to go. The acting governor advised them to be good ambassadors of the state. He also wants them to bear in mind that Nigeria is passing through turbulent times, which requires prayers.
So as you go to the Holy Land, remember Edo State in your prayers. Please commit the entire Nigeria into his hand.
The state chairman of CAN, Bishop Oriname Kure, expressed the hope that God will grant their petitions at the Holy Land.
It is a proof of the fact that the leadership of Edo State government is committed to the move of God in our land, in our state, and in our nation.
14 Christian pilgrims are the first batch for the 2021-2022 pilgrimage to Israel. In Benin, Ubakobong Achibong, NTA News.
And from religion now to security. The rise in widespread insecurity in the country is raising concerns about the preparedness and commitment of the law enforcement agencies to tackle the alarming wave of criminal activities across the nation at all times. The situation is prompting some Nigerians to be asking which way forward. Goodluck Inayemi seeks the views of security experts and some public affairs analysts.
For over a decade now, Nigeria has witnessed heightened security challenges that has resulted in the loss of innocent lives and properties. While government is making efforts to stem the ugly trend, security experts believe individuals can help themselves by acquiring security equipment such as CCTV and getting security and emergency training.
The Constitution of Nigeria, 1999, as amended, does not permit every Nigerian to carry arms. And security is in the exclusive list. That is to say, that power belongs to the federal government.
On the call from some quarters for individuals to take arms, these respondents say liberalization of arms in Nigeria will compound the situation.
Our security architecture will have to be rearranged. If we don't have adequate manpower, we'll probably have to hire more hands. If we need more training, we'll probably have to offer training to those who bear arms officially. If they don't have enough arms, it probably means we have to buy or manufacture more. So this will be the immediate and long-term solution.
If everybody start carrying gun, then there will be no cemetery to carry human being.
to encourage individuals and private organizations' involvement in security matters. The state government recently approved vigilante registration and operation for churches. In Benin, good luck in NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Benin. Nationwide continues with Lydia in Abuja.
Many thanks, Obey. In support of non-kinetic operations of the armed forces, the Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association, DEPOA, is advocating the right of patients to be treated with dignity and care, including Nigerian troops who constantly face health hazards in the line of duty. Defense correspondent Naja Atotijani reports.
Bearing gifts for these patients at the Defense Headquarters Medical Center who are unable to enjoy the festive season, the Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association, DEPOA, is determined to offer a glimmer of hope for these personnel and civilians who have sacrificed their health in the line of duty.
We also use this opportunity to say to Nigerians that we should not lose hope in our armed forces. We know that in no time they will defeat the adversaries of our dear nation.
Beyond advocating patient care and support for Nigerian troops, DEPOA backs up words with action by donating much-needed medical supplies.
DEPOA and the whole of defense personnel can come to help this facility. It is an opportunity we by no means value a lot.
Other military hospitals have benefited from the humanitarian aid, which is part of DEPOA's efforts at boosting healthcare delivery for the armed forces of Nigeria and host communities. Naja'atu Tijani, NTA News.
Kano State government will remain committed to the fight against polio and other tropical diseases through funding and increased advocacy. Secretary to the state government, Usman Alhaji, stated this when he received a team of advocates who rode on motorbikes from Lagos to Kano. Abdullahi Mustafa has the report.
The team of advocates was led to the Kano Government House by Kule Adeyanju, a Nigerian who recently rode his motorbike from London in the United Kingdom to Lagos, Nigeria. This was to draw global attention to the need for continuous advocacy and increased funding towards preventing further spread of polio virus. He and other bikers came to Kano to acknowledge the efforts being made by the state government in the fight and to advocate for more to prevent its resurgence, considering the challenges faced in the course of its eradication.
As much as the virus is existing anywhere in the world, it will get to us because people travel, wind blow, the virus will come, just like COVID. We didn't have COVID, it didn't start from here, but we got it.
They were received by Secretary to the State Government Usman Alhaji, who briefed them on what the Ganduja administration did and is doing in the fight against the viral disease.
There was large mobilization of all the sectors of our society. The traditional institutions, the traditional rulers were brought in very strongly. In fact, I think the chairman of the immunization is a traditional ruler.
He assured that although Kano do not have a single case of polio, government will not relent in providing the needed resources to mitigate its resurgence. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
Displaced and vulnerable persons in Taraba State are to benefit from assorted food items from the federal government. This was the focus of the flag-off of emergency release of assorted food commodities to the vulnerable held in Jalingo, the state capital. Bem Hanya reports.
The food, which is from the National Strategic Reserve Stock, is to be distributed in the 36 states of Nigeria and the FCT, following approval from President Muhammadu Buhari. The items, including maize, guinea corn, millet, and gari, were symbolically shared to some of the beneficiaries by the Minister of Transportation, Muazu Jaji Sambo, who stood in for his counterpart in the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development.
The well-being of Nigerians has always been and will continue to be President Buhari's priority. These commodities are approved for distribution free of charge and therefore it is a criminal offense to sell them.
We wish to tell Mr. President, President Muhammadu Buhari, for deeming it fit to give us all these palliatives to be distributed to our people.
Coordinator UMCN Orphanage, who spoke on behalf of other beneficiaries, appreciated the federal government, stating that the food items could not have come at a better time.
We sincerely and deeply appreciate you for coming to put smile to our faces and to make our clean sense of belongings. You have come to change our stories, to put food on our tables. We say thank you.
A 6-man committee was put in charge of the distribution of the food items to the target groups. In Jalingo, Bem Hanya, NTA News.
Major actors in the broadcasting industry say the proposal by Society of Nigerian Broadcasters will not in any way conflict with the mandate of that of the Nigeria Broadcasting Commission, whose sole responsibility lies in regulation. The actors who were guests on NTA's Good Morning Nigeria program say the program is mainly to serve as a platform for broadcasting professionals to meet regularly, review conduct of members, and address ethical issues for improved performance in the industry.
So many broadcast stations spread across the country, and the few professionals that are available are now spread thin. So many are now cutting their teeth in broadcasting live on air, and a lot of crime as far as broadcasting is concerned is being committed on air.
Once it is registered, you can go on and do whatever you want to do, but then whatever content you bring out is still going to be monitored and regulated by the National Broadcasting Commission.
NBC cannot punish the staff. NBC can punish the station. But we are saying if there's a forum for workshop, training, and seminar to say this is the way to do this job, we will be regulating ourselves. We will minimize some of these infringement against the code itself.
Say quackery has infiltrated so much in the broadcasting and has caused much damage, demanding the professionals to sit up and sanitize the unit of journalism profession. Up next is Sports Update.
After 2 days of rest, the 2022 Africa Women's Cup of Nations enters quarterfinals Wednesday with 2023 FIFA Women's World Cup tickets at stake. Zambia and Senegal will meet in the first fixture by 6 p.m. before the game between hosts Morocco and Botswana. On Thursday, defending champions Nigeria Super Falcons face their arch-rivals Indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon at 6 p.m. while South Africa file out against Tunisia later on at 9.
The Super Falcons will do the needful, play good football, take it slow and steady, be calm about it. If they play under pressure, then they might concede an early goal, but if they play with tenacity, if they are precise about what they want to do, then they will get the needed result at the end of the day.
President of Confederation of Africa Cycling, Wagi Azam, assures of more cycling tournaments in Nigeria to help develop the sport on the continent. Azam gave the assurance after arriving Abuja Wednesday ahead of the second Africa Track Cycling Championships, which begin at the Velodrome of Moshood Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, Thursday, with 13 nations in contention.
I'm sure that 2022 will be full organization, great organization, international organization, and I hope one day also to organize international world championships in Abuja track.
In the meantime, Botswana's 2012 Olympic 800-meter silver medalist Nigel Emos has been suspended by the Athletics Integrity Unit after testing positive for a banned substance. 28-year-old Emos was in the U.S. preparing for the World Athletics Championships, which begin in Eugene, Oregon on Friday. The 2014 Commonwealth Games gold medalist failed an out-of-competition test last month with a sample containing a substance known as GW1516, which can boost endurance. That's Sports Update. I am Kenan Ima Aburike, NTA News.
And that's it on Nationwide. Don't forget to join the NTA in the campaign against rape and rapists. I am Lydia Ojijochi. Good evening.